Welcome. Thanks for making it to your mat. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll start in toes pose today. So you'll curl your toes under so that you're stretching through the soles of your feet, and then you're going to sit your hips back towards your heels. If you'd like, you can place a blanket or a pillow or even a block beneath your hips to alleviate some of the sensation that you might feel here in toes pose, because it's a pretty intense posture. I'm actually going to use a block today. So in class today, I will be using a blanket, a bolster, and a block. And once you've found yourself in toes pose, allow your palms to rest gently on your thighs and soften your eyes to close. And so I've been doing a little studying on the sutras lately, and the second sutra in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras talks about how yoga is the quieting of the fluctuations of the mind, and how the entire goal of yoga is to quiet these constant fluctuations in our mind. And so I invite you here in this full of sensation posture with your eyes closed to just begin to witness what's happening in the mind. No need to quiet anything just yet, just awareness. And please know that if any time you want to get out of toes pose, no one's there to stop you. Take what it is that you need. And the sutra in Sanskrit is yogas, chitta, vritti, nirodha. I'll say that again, yogas, chitta, vritti, nirodha. To silence the fluctuations of the mind. And if you think about that from a physical perspective, like we're moving, we're doing so that we can find stillness and peace, and the mind is more quiet. It's really the goal of our yoga practice. It's what makes Flow and Restore so powerful, is that we create movement and then we drop into this peaceful space where we can simply just begin to observe. And start to expand through your breath. And first you feel the expansion through the inhales. You take it all the way up to the top. And the deep, powerful exhales, removing the air completely from the body. And just continue this way for a moment, pulling the focus away from the feet and taking it to the breath. And as you do this, can you create even more ease through the physical body? And even though in the body a lot's happening, how can you find that patient breath pattern? The smooth inhales that match the length of the exhales. Let this be a meditation in itself to pull you inward, to take you deeper, and to begin to witness and realize that there is so much more going on than the initial sensation you have through the soles of your feet. You're so much more than the sensations that move in and out of your bodies. Release all the air. Take a full breath in from the pelvic floor. Fill up your belly, your lungs, your upper chest, all the way up to the top, and then hold your breath in. And let it go. Again, from the bottom of the exhale, fill up completely. Breathe in the vitality, the prana, the energy, and hold it in. And let it go. Last time, friends, biggest breath you've taken all day. Hold it in. And let it go. So good. This time, hold it out, all the way out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly seal your lips and pull in through the nose, the Ujjayi. And the Ujjayi, exhale out through the nose. I feel a slight constriction in the back of your throat. An oceanic sound. Let this breath guide you throughout practice today. And very slowly open up your eyes, shift your palms to the mat, and lift your feet up. Give yourself a second here with your feet just lifted, hanging in the air. No need to find any movement, just let them hang there and feel the rush of energy and fluidity happening through the soles of your feet. And then rest the left toes down and extend your right leg back. Maybe you point your toes. Now right knee moves to the earth and send your left leg straight back. Point through your toes. And then release, sit back to your heels. Just in a nice hero's pose, Virasana. Then we're going to shift slightly forward. I want you to take your fingertips pointed towards your body so you're pressing down through the soles of your hands. And then soft bend to your elbows as you pull your heart slightly through. So just a nice gentle wrist and forearm stretch here. And just 3 big breaths. And then you'll turn your hands so that the tops of your palms are now resting on the mat. Your fingertips are still pointed towards your body. And now send your torso and your booty slightly back more for a bigger stretch. So just take what you need. It can look very different in everyone's body. And take the breath in and out. And then you'll slowly take yourself up into tabletop. Stacking your shoulders above your wrists, your hips in line with your knees. Inhale, reach your right arm high and roll out your wrist. One direction and then the other. And then exhale, thread the needle, draw your right arm beneath your body and extend your left arm forward. Draw your hips back, and I like to keep my tops of my feet on the mat, not my toes curled under, but there's no wrong answer there. If you want to curl your toes under, by all means, go right ahead. This is your journey, your practice. Continue to pull your left hip crease back to lengthen fully through your left side body. Send your left palm down beneath your shoulder. Inhale, rise up, modified side plank to the right. So right leg goes long behind you, right arm lifts up. Now take your left toes, curl them under, create a kickstand, and send your left heel back behind your booty. You're in a nice modified side plank. Your left knee is directly beneath your left hip. You want that stacking of your joints for more support. Send your right fingertips all the way forward. Get really long. Soft bend to your left elbow. Take a full breath in. Exhale, hinge forward and around. Send your booty back and grab for your right ankle with your right hand. Now soft bend to your elbows, drop your heart. So just stretching here through the inner thigh and outer hip. And then we'll flow. Inhale all the way forward, get really long, extend. Exhale, reach forward and back. Let it all go. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. Amazing, friends. Inhale, reach all the way forward. Now, I'm going to take your right foot and send it back behind you, really grounding through the whole sole of your right foot. And now rotate and open up the heart and the chest. You can microbend your right elbow for a deeper twist here, even opening up the throat. 2 full breaths. Amazing. Inhale, reach forward. Then exhale, neutral tabletop, right back through center. Just wag your booty from side to side. Inhale, the left arm high. And rotate your wrist one direction and then the other. And exhale, thread the needle. Left arm moves beneath your body. Right arm extends forward. Spider tip your fingertips. And now here you're taking your right hip crease back to stay long through your right side body. Feel free to soften your eyes to close and just find some breaths here as you begin to open up to the shoulders. Now it's imperative when we hold some postures that we're strong and we're active in certain areas of our body, but where else can you soften? Right? Not everything has to be super strong and active. Take your right hand beneath your right shoulder. Inhale, rise, modified side plank to the left. Left leg extends long. Create the same kickstand here. Right toes curl under, heel moves behind your booty. Now take your top arm, lift it all the way up and overhead. Soft bend to the right elbow. So you want your core to do a little bit more work here in your modified side plank. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, reach forward, down and around. Grab for your left ankle. Soften your heart to the earth. And then we'll flow. Inhale all the way forward. Exhale, release. Amazing. Breath in, extend. Breath out, let go. Inhale, reach all the way forward and then pause. Send your left leg back and ground through the soles of your foot. Through the sole of your foot, there we go. And then take your left shoulder blade behind your heart to open up the torso. 3 big breaths. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, neutral tabletop, back through center. Feel free to take a few cat-cows. You can even turn your hands towards your body. I want you to take your eyes to close once you've decided what you're going to do here with your cat-cow or your tabletop. And notice just for a moment how the breath really guides your movements, even these subtle, basic movements of cat-cow. How can you use your breath for the full posture? And just 2 more and we'll meet in a neutral tabletop. And in your neutral tabletop, send your tailbone back. Reach the crown of your head forward. If your hands are flipped, inhale, right arm back, over and around, just a full shoulder rotation. Inhale, left fingertips reach back and all the way around. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, child's pose, hips to heels. Send your arms forward, gently rest your third eye to the mat. Now I like my knees in a little closer towards my torso, so if you always take child's pose the same, maybe play with it a little bit, find something new, because when we start to move our body in different ways, we're able to discover different things beneath the surface. So good. Inhale, cow pose, slow rise up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, lift your hips to the sky. And then some movements here. Maybe you bend your knee or pedal out your feet. Make sure you gaze up at the hands though. You want to make sure that your fingertips are spread really wide and that your palms are rooted firmly into the earth, shoulder width distance apart. And now pretend like you're pushing your mat away from you. Notice what this does to your whole side bodies. Sending your tailbone a little closer toward the back wall. We'll just float out once. Inhale, cow pose, drop your knees, lift your heart. Exhale, child's pose, hips to heels. Inhale, cow pose, slow rise up. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips rise. Now lift your heels and sort of wave yourself forward to high plank. Always feel free to drop to your knees, friends. Take what you need again. Legs are strong, core's pulled in, sternum bone rocks forward, taking your gaze above your mat. Now all your muscles should be working here. Continue to press the mat away with your palms and the toe mounds of your feet. Holding here for 6. You'll press back to downward facing dog in 5. Find your breath. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog, hips rise. Amazing. Gaze forward and then slowly walk to the top of your mat. Just find ragdoll pose with a chest expansion, so feet hip width distance apart. Bend your knees a lot. Let your torso fall heavy over your thighs, and then interlace your palms together. Now keep the palms connected. Option to lift your fists up and away, or send your fists just straight back. Just different ways to open up the shoulders. Now imagine gravity just pulling your head down toward the earth. More weight moves to the toe mounds, and the heels slightly lift. Continue to find your full breath pattern here in your deep forward fold. There's constriction, but can you move through the constriction and still continue to full body breathe? And slowly release the hands down to the earth. And then with the toning of your low belly, inhale, slowly rise all the way up through standing, finding Tadasana. Reach, lengthen, but feel here your solid foundation, right? The 4 corners of your feet connected. And with your eyes closed, just pull the energy up through the body so you're feeling the soles of your feet, and then you move to the calves, the knees, the thighs, the hips, the core, the torso, the shoulders, the arms, the sides of your neck, and the crown of your head, the tips of your fingers. Big breath in. Exhale, back bend, goal post your arms, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Now more weight back towards the heels, so you're activating your glutes and you're pushing your pubic bone forward. And as you breathe, where can you lighten here in this gentle back bend? Inhale, Tadasana, reach all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, palms move through your heart space. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins or your thighs. Now pull the torso forward. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do that again. Inhale, halfway lift, elbows pull back and in. Listen for the change. Exhale, low lunge, left foot back. Now find your strong low lunge with a nice long wide stance. And a lot of times in yoga, I'll see people just sort of dump into their hips. I want you to kind of avoid that. It feels good when you're flexible to go the full way, but then I want you to pull back. I want you to draw into midline so that we build strength too. And feel the strength from the soles of your feet up to your hips, and then take it out through the crown of your head. So good. Left hand moves to the earth. Inhale, low lunge twist, right arm rises. Now pull your right hip crease back and continue to scissor the inner thighs together. Inhale. As you exhale, shift to lounging lizard. So you're gonna make the knife edges of both feet connect to the earth. Reach your right fingertips back. Big movement. Inhale, side lunge. Ground your back foot, plant your palms to the inside of your right leg. Both soles are down. So a little different than Skandasana side lunge is. So we're rooted, our hips are lifted. Now exhale, Skandasana. So you can gently crawl your hands across your mat to the back. And you can find a side lunge, which I prefer, or you can actually come down to Skandasana, and that's the lifted left heel and the lifted right toes. So just a couple different variations. One's a little deeper than the other, but just take what you need. And then as you feel it, I want you to move to the front and move to the back in your own Skandasana. So really just embrace some fluidity here through your body, focusing on the breath. And then we'll take low lunge to the back of our mat. Give yourself a moment here. So left leg is forward, first time low lunge on this side. Ground heavy through your palms. Inhale, high plank, step back. Exhale, puppy pose, drop your knees, drop your heart. Extend your arms forward. And then 3 big breaths right here, friends. And as you exhale, take it all the way out. Feel the stretch into the armpits. So good. Inhale, press up, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to take a mandala around our mat, which means that we're just going to go in circles. So again, with the same leg, inhale your right leg high. Just listen for the change here. So now pull your right heel toward the back wall. Get really long through your whole back body. Full breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, working a little bit of core. Micro bend your elbows. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Be careful not to fully tweak the torso. You want to keep the torso square, using more core. Inhale, right leg high. Now pause. Bend your right knee, open up your hip. Option to gaze underneath your right armpit as you press into the mat. Bend your left knee and tone your belly. Yeah, amazing. Inhale, right leg lifts straight back up through center. Exhale, low lunge, step forward. And then we're going to flow it out. Left hand down, inhale, low lunge, twist, right arm high. Exhale, lounging lizard, shift your weight to the knife edges of your feet. Core strong, big movement. Inhale, side lunge, ground your back foot, plant your palms inside of your right leg. And then Skandasana it out. Forward and back, or even holding, right? You get to choose your adventure. Low lunge at the top of your mat. Palms down. Inhale your left leg high, yes. Now bend your left knee. Open up your hip. Gaze underneath the left armpit. Breathe. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here. Keep your knees bent. Push the mat away. Notice for a moment how when we create movements in the body, how we can go back to that second sutra. Yogas, chitta, vritti, nirodha. Yoga allows us to quiet the fluctuations of mind. That is the whole goal of yoga. Gaze forward and slowly travel to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana, root, rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, back bend, goalpost the arms, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Stay deep with the breath pattern. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, right foot back this time. And give yourself just as much time on this side as you did on the other. And be really mindful, right? We don't want to just dump into the hips. I mean, find engagement. Feel the left and right thigh pulling in through center. We call that scissoring of the inner thighs. Right hand plants. Inhale, low lunge, twist, left arm rises. Now send your left hip crease back. Press down through your right hand. Take a full breath in. Exhale, lounging lizard. Shift your weight to the knife edges of your feet. Both toes are really strong, supporting your knees here. Core is active. Now big movement. Inhale, side lunge. Ground your back foot, plant your palms. I know that's a big movement. It's a lot of fancy footwork. Rotating on toe mounds and heels. And then friends, Skandasana it out. Right from the back to the front. Just take whatever fluidity your body is calling for. And we'll meet low lunge at the back of the mat. Hang out here for just a moment. And then plant your palms. Inhale, high plank, step feet together. Exhale, puppy pose, drop your knees, drop your heart. Just breathe. So good. Inhale, press up tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high. Now reach through your left heel, get really strong through your back body. Full breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, pull it through center. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Use your core. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep underneath the body. Inhale, left leg high. Now bend your right knee, tone your belly. Bend your left knee, open up your hip, and gaze underneath your left armpit. You did this once before, but just feel it the second time. Feel how it gets a little easier the more that we do it. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, low lunge, step through. We're gonna flow it out. Right hand down, inhale, low lunge, twist, left arm reaches. Exhale, lounging lizard, shift your weight, reach back. Inhale, side lunge, up and around, ground your back feet, plant your palms. And then Skandasana it out. Whatever it is that you need. Take it into low lunge at the top of your mat. Palms down, inhale, right leg high. Second time, opening up the hip, bend your right knee, bend your left knee, and then rotate. Fire up the belly. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Child's pose, friends. Drop your heels, or drop your knees rather, hips to heels. Let's take it into embryo for just a moment. So knees are slightly closer. And then take your arms along your side bodies. If you'd like to, you can lift the tops of your feet up and place your palms just underneath for a little more activation and stretch through your arms and shoulders. Slow down the breath. And I don't know what energetic state you entered class in, but notice here what's shifted. There is power in our intentional breath and movement to quiet the chitta vritti in the mind, the never-ending chatter. And it's just like everything else, it is a practice we keep coming back to over and over again. Some days are really hard, and some days we just fall into place. It's not right or it's not wrong, it is just what it is. And slowly begin to pull yourself back up through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. So good. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, right knee or right tricep. Now pause. Send your right leg out, and the knife edge of your right foot can touch the floor, or you can keep your right leg lifted. Spin your left heel down to the mat and make your way into fallen triangle. Now the hands are stacked just beneath the shoulders. Press the mat away. Fire up your inner thighs. Lift your hips. An option to rotate the torso and find the gaze toward the sky. Just 3 breaths here. Amazing. Left hand down. Right leg lifts. Downward facing dog. Stay with me. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Now send your left foot out to the side. Find the knife edge connected to the floor, or you can keep your left foot lifted. Now spin your right heel down and reach your right arm high. Fallen triangle. You need a little bit more oblique work happening here through your side bodies. Activate both feet. 3 full breaths. So good. Right hand down, left leg lifts, and downward facing dog. Shift your weight forward to high plank. Lower all the way down to the earth. Stack your hands. Rest your third eye there. And send the tops of your feet out nice and wide to the corners of your mat. Feel the breath move into the back body. Notice the connection of your belly to the earth. Lift your heels and ever so slowly start to windshield wiper your legs. And then take your gaze in the opposite direction as your legs. Very slowly, just shifting from left to right. And here's where we begin to transition from less movement into a bit more stillness. And so slow down the breath pattern. Calm breath, calm body, and calm mind. Rest the tops of your feet back to the mat. Place your palms beneath your shoulders. And inhale, lift yourself up to standing on your knees. Incredible, everyone. Let's go ahead and get ready for our first restorative posture. So I will be using a bolster, but pillows are great, and so are blankets. And all this can be done without anything either. So just know that. Actually, this is going to go nice and long like this. I'm going to use my blanket to sort of soften, make a little cushion for my hips. So just like we moved ourselves into fallen triangle, we had those scissor legs. We're going to find scissor legs here. So the right hip is going to connect to the very bottom of your bolster or your pillow. And then your right leg is going to come straight out. And your left leg is going to go straight back. So you've got a scissor leg here. We're going to take this into a twist. I want it to be active first, so probably the first minute or so, I want you to activate your feet and keep your legs really active. But after that, you can soften maybe the left knee down, okay? Just know that if you have any deeper sensations through the hips or legs, just bend your knees and it removes the sensation almost immediately. So keeping the legs really active, rotate towards your bolster. And then you're gonna fold your torso down. Now, personally, I like gazing in the same direction as my right foot, but if you want a deeper twist, you can turn your head the opposite direction. So just take what it is that you need And remember, stay active through the legs here first. You want to make sure that the hips are stacked. So start to pull the right hip sort of back and down. Now your forearms, your palms are resting to the mat. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, just settle in as much as you can. We'll release the legs in about a full minute. So really pull the energy out through the heels. And then find the deep breathing pattern through the belly. The eyes are closed so that the mind is less active. Now, friends, if you choose to, you can relax the knees, soften the legs. Often these very subtle, these twists feel very subtle in restore, but the longer we hold them, the deeper the rinse. And really you have the power to stay with your breath, to let even more go, and to deepen into the posture. What shows up when the body is still? Slowly return to the body. Find the breath. 3 full rounds. And press down through the palms of your hands. Very so slowly and gently lift your torso up. Then you're going to shift yourself to the other side. So pressing yourself up, turning yourself over so that your left hip is now connected to the center of your bolster. And we'll find the same active legs for the first minute. So left leg extends, flex your toes. Right leg reaches back, flex your toes. Now sort of scoot your left hip back and down so that your hips will be stacked. Rotate toward the bolster and then fold yourself over the whole torso. Forearms, palms, elbows connect to the mat and press through the heels. So energy moves out through the legs, out through the heels. Breathe in and breathe out. Close the eyes once again. Start to feel the difference in the sides of the body. The two sides are not created equal. When we put ourselves in these postures, we start to recognize where we hold extra tension, extra stress, and carry it around in the physical body. This is just widening and expanding our own awareness of ourselves. We're constantly checking in, constantly asking questions, constantly feeling our own state every single day. What do you need to find balance in your body, your mind, balance in your breath? And no one knows what you need better than you. If you'd like to keep the legs active, go ahead, or you can softly bend both knees. And just feel the difference that release does, and how it shifts where the energy moves. The goal of yoga is to get to a place where we quiet the fluctuations of the mind. It is a daily practice. Everything that is powerful and true is beneath the never-ending chatter of the mind. Begin to return to the body and find the breath 3 times. You'll press down through your palms, ever so slowly peel your torso up and away. Just bring the legs together to touch and roll onto the sit bones. Okay, we're going to take wide-legged forward fold. So remove the extra flesh from beneath your sit bones and open up your legs nice and wide. Now I know for a lot of people, super tight hamstrings is very common. So if you'd like to elevate the hips with a pillow or a blanket, sometimes that's very useful. I'll be using my bolster and my block because I'm not overly flexible in these wide forward folds. But before we move forward, I want you to flex your toes and then point your toes. Do that 2 more times. Flex your toes, point the toes, and once more. So good. And then let the feet just relax because it's a way to travel up through the hips, and we want the hips to surrender as well. I will be supporting my third eye with my block. So whatever you have that's going to allow you to fold forward in a comfortable manner, set yourself up. And then inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, slowly crawl, resting your third eye on your block or pillow, bolster, whatever it is that you need here. You want the tailbone to shift back slightly so you get the hips to rotate, allowing you to stay long through the spine so that you don't find this rounding of the upper back. We have more extension instead. And that comes from the hips, from the tailbone drawing back and under. Breathe in deep. And as you breathe out, soften in. This is one of those postures that the longer we hold it, we can start to remove props from the body. The body just knows that it can let go. Now the elbows might not touch the earth, but they are heavy to the earth. Feel gravity, no resistance. Let the last bit of tension start to dissolve from the neck, melt away from the shoulders. And 3 full rounds of breath, friends. Full body breathing. Press down through the palms and gently, ever so gently, start to crawl the torso back up through seated. All right, I'll put you in our final resting posture of class today, a supported fish or a supported heart opening. So take your bolster, instead of vertical, just horizontal here. Your block will be just at the top. That's where the back of your head's going to rest. Now you're going to take your low back so that it connects to the bottom of your bolster. Your legs can be extended, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So just extend your legs for now. Let your toes roll open. And then gently pull the whole spine over the bolster. And then your block or a pillow gently beneath the back of your head. Goalpost your arms here. Now, if the legs feel good like this, with the toes rolling out, feel free to stay. You can also find a fallen bridge where you knock the knees together and the soles of your feet are wide to the edges of your mat. Or if you'd like more vulnerability, more exposure here through the whole front body, it's Supta Baddha. So the soles of the feet come together and the knees fall wide. No wrong answer here. Your body knows what it wants, so just feel free to take your final resting posture. And then breathe in deep, feel the heart rise. And as you exhale, just let the bolster or the pillows or even the floor completely support you. And the eyes are closed, but the gaze remains at the third eye, the space just between the eyebrows. There's a dark space in front, and that's where the focus goes. And just notice if any phenomenon manifests here, any colors or shapes. Let the breath just be a natural place. The body is fully surrendered. So heavy, heavy through the hips, through the legs, through the arms, through the head. So heavy that you couldn't move if you wanted to. You are rooted. Yogas, Chitta, Vritti, Narodaha. Quieting the fluctuations of the mind. We begin to see our true purpose. We let go of confusion. And we move into clarity. Allow yourself to be here just as you are, and I will call you out. Begin to awaken your bodies with breath. And just start by finding gentle movements in your fingertips and your toes. And if it serves you in whatever position you're in to extend your arms overhead, find that. Hold gently one knee at a time in through center as you roll over to your right side. Take a moment here to rest. There's such beauty in these ancient yogic philosophy teachings. It allows us to restructure the idea of our physical yoga practice. And instead of it just being that, a physical yoga practice, it's a way in which we create silence in the mind, stillness in the body, and we can sit with ourselves. And we can start to witness whatever arises. That's the meaning behind yogas, chitta, vritti, nirodha. That is the purpose, the true purpose of this practice. And press down, gently lift yourself up through seated. Eyes remain closed, pull your palms together at your heart space, Anjali Mudra, a symbol of gratitude for all that's here. Let's end class today with one Om. Take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, we prepare. And carry the vibrations with you. Draw your thumbs to your third eye. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me today. It's such an honor to guide you through class. Until next time, friends, be well.